Welcome to the King Films College Football Uniform Showcase, where we will be showing off some of the best uniforms in college football of 2021. We will be starting out with some of the best uniforms and then jumping to the best helmets. I will note that most of these uniforms will be promo uniforms, but a couple teams' permanent uniforms will also be showcased. Let's get it started in the ACC with Virginia Tech. Had these cool alternate orange and maroon uniforms. Really like the colorway here. Another team that had a change to their home uniforms was Vanderbilt, rocking the gold lettering. That was really solid. This was one of the better permanent uniform changes that they made this year. Boston College, as always, has these bandana uniforms that are really some of the best uniforms in college football. It's the USS Salt Lake City uniforms, and I'll just note that throughout this uniforms ranking video, you'll see a lot of military-inspired uniforms, so this is just the start. But the helmet, as you can see, was depicting a battle which this ship, the USS Salt Lake City, is taking part in. Next, we've got the Army-Navy game uniforms, and I want you guys to comment below which ones you liked out of these two. Both were pretty cool from the helmet all the way down. Personally, I preferred the Army ones just because of the coloring. Obviously, they were able to wear the white unis for this game, but you guys can comment below. The Navy one has some nice aspects as well. Moving on to TCU, they had a couple games wearing these uniforms with the nice patterning around the neck. TCU also had some great helmets and just a special recognition to their red spitting blood uniforms. There was a lot of conversation about those. Some liked them, some hated them, but I'll give a quick shout out to those uniforms as well. Now we've got Oregon on the list. They've got 3 uniforms on the list. We'll start with this white eggshell. This one, like those TCU spitting blood uniforms, also had a lot of conversation around it. Some people loved it, some people hated it, but honestly, I'm in the group that liked these, especially from far away. They give that really nice effect. But you guys can also comment below what you thought of these. Another Oregon uniform. These white ones were really nice this year, particularly like what they've done with the shoulder area here, and really nice Oregon uniform in the neck area as well. These uniforms are overall really clean. Then finally, we'll go to that Oregon all green, and you will see that for a couple of uniforms, we will just be going to the all solid color uniforms, as I think those were the best. We already saw it with that Virginia Tech orange one. So the reason I'm not really doing a ranking is because, color plays a lot into this, and schools can't really change their colors, but they can do the best with what they've got. So Oregon, this all green uniform with the yellow accents, of course, is one of my favorites from them. You've got to have Oregon in this ranking at least a couple times. They always seem to be wearing over-the-top uniforms. So another solid uniform here was the Ohio State combo. Obviously, this was their regular jersey, but I love the pants combo, abandoning the gray for just one of those games. And I think it really went well. You keep the gray helmet and wear the red all the way down. I think this was a really solid uniform choice, and I'd love to see it back next year. Now let's go to the icy whites for Louisville. I like what they've done with the shoulder pad here. I think this was one of the best uniforms as well. They've got that nice matching helmet, and the lettering they've done up nicely as well. Let's move on to UNLV. They had a couple uniforms I could have featured on this list, but we'll keep it with the icy whites for them as well. These helmets were particularly cool with the silver accented UNLV. Obviously, they didn't have the best season this year, but their uniform drip was some of the best in college football. Another uniform we've got here is the Stamford Throwbacks. This is kind of entering the helmet section, but gotta love that classic S font, and can't go wrong with that red uniform either. Next, we've got the crosstown rivalry, USC versus UCLA. This is some of the best matchup. It all started with Pete Carroll taking the uniform penalty, losing a couple timeouts. But both teams now every year play with their home uniform colors, and it makes for one of the best games uniform-wise in college football. Now let's move on to the helmet section, and we'll start off with some more throwbacks. We've got Florida this time. This was one of the more solid helmets. Let's keep on the orange trend with some Boise State throwbacks as well. I really like these designs. Boise State is another team that I could have had on here multiple times, but I like this helmet the most from them. Those blue uniforms that they have are some of the best in college football, but I don't really like how they go with the field. I feel like if they actually had a green field, that would complement the all blue jerseys. So just for that, I'm going to keep them off this list. Now we're going to have some regulars on here, and let's get into USF and UCF. We'll start with USF. They pretty much had different helmets for every game, but some that I particularly liked was this white helmet with gold accents, which had a really nice uniform combination. And then UCF was another team that pretty much had different helmet every week, from the Florida logo to the American flag to the regular silver and white. UCF had it all and did not disappoint this year from the uniform perspective. Finally, we've got Hawaii. They had another military-inspired uniform, but I particularly like the helmet of this one, copying some of that art that is usually on the warplanes. They had a whole jersey and uniform combo to accompany this, but thought the helmet was impressive, so we'll give them the shout out here. Please be sure to comment below some of your favorite uniforms from this year and anything you think I missed, and maybe we'll have a part 2 of this video if you guys like it. Thank you for watching.